Yo, man, you already know what it is. We make art, we sell art in your face with in your face art, man. I want to talk to you guys real quick about this movie that I just saw called Sinners. And it has Michael B. Jordan in it. And it's a horror flick. It's more like a thriller to me. It wasn't like a super horror. But I got to tell you guys, this movie, I don't know what it is, but I really like this movie. This is spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen this movie or anything like that. You might want to click off this video because I'm going to be talking about the movie Sinners, hence the title. So, if you don't want to hear about it, please click off now. Also, if this is your first time coming to this channel, man, we do a lot of artwork. As you can see, I love to draw. We make art. We sell art that's in your face. And if you want to support my artwork, you can hit the link in the description and all that cool stuff. But okay, so in this movie, it is really good because, for one, in the black genre, we don't get a lot of horror movies. And I'm really happy to see we're getting so many more. Like, you got your Get Out, you got your Nopes, things like that. And now we have Sinners. And with Sinners, it's really good because it goes on to this trope that I've heard about a long time ago about, a musician coming to a crossroads, and he's a horrible musician, meets this figure that tells him, hey, I will be able to give you the ability to be a phenomenal musician, whatever. But at one point in time, one day I'm going to come for your soul or whatever. And the guy like, yo, whatever, I ain't got nothing to lose. He does the deal, and boom, he becomes a phenomenal musician all around the world. Everybody can't figure out how he did it. And next thing you know, rumors are spreading about he sold his soul at a crossroads. And that's what this movie reminds me of. I believe that is the premise of the movie, but it's like an old folks tale, something that you would hear in passing. And especially for me, somebody who wanted to get into the music industry, this definitely hits home for me because when I was younger, I was heavy into music. A lot of people may not know, but I was big into doing music. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia for music. And right around the time when I was just about to move to Atlanta, I started hearing about things like the Illuminati. You start hearing about things like masonry. You start hearing about all these elites and, things that you might have to do or go through in order to make it in the industry. Now, at the time, I used to say things like, oh, man, I'll do anything to make it, man. I don't care, man. I'm a hustle. I'll do whatever. I don't care. I'll do anything. And I really wasn't understanding the things that I was saying, like the things I was saying. When you say things to universe, sometimes you don't understand what you're saying. And the reason why I'm telling that story is because it reminds me of the main character whose name is Sammy. Sammy is a young man who works really hard so that he can, one day go out and sing music and see the world and do his thing with his music. He's really adamant about it, very excited about it. Young man who's ready to just go out there and see the world. And he wants to share his gift with the world, which is his music. Same way I was, man. When I wanted to come out to Atlanta, I had no family out in Atlanta or anything, man. I was just excited. I'm like, look, man, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to do my thing. And I did. I had a great time. Met a lot of people. Was in a few major music videos, met a lot of different celebrities, did my music, did performances, got standing ovations, won some awards and contests, all that type of stuff. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Now, with Sammy, his father is a preacher, okay? So he's more old school in a sense. Now, this is based in the 1920s or whatever like that. And Sammy's father is warning him like, listen, son, I know all that, that music and everything seem cool, but this is of the devil. Now, if you're not really familiar with black, I may have some people watching this who aren't from a black household, but a lot of our grandparents and things like that and their parents really didn't like certain music being played because they believed that it was of the devil. Now, if you know anything of the Bible, I hope I'm getting all this right, but if you do know anything about the Bible, when you talk about Lucifer, who was the most beautiful angel, whatever, that got thrown out of heaven, that, rebelled against God, he was over music, okay? Music is probably one of the most influential forms of media on the planet. It's music. It can make you cry. It can make you angry. It can make you excited. It can make you want to go and get this work in. I mean, music is the number one thing. And when you have people who are intoxicated, very lustful, you know, fighting, angry, or whatever. You're in a dark room, smoking, getting high. The number one thing people do is play music. If you notice, if you go to church, what are they doing? Playing music in a sports arena, basketball, whatever. They're playing music. Music can control a lot of emotions that get people in a mood. If you're at a club or something like that, and for some reason the music stops, people would get agitated with the DJ, like, yo, man, come on, what's up with the music? Like, music just keeps them in that state of mind. So with Sammy being a great musician, the father's like, look, man, you might want to be careful about trying to play at these different clubs and things like that, son, because the devil comes to play at night. And he said something important in there. He said, if you dance with the devil enough times, it'll follow you home. And that really hit home with Sammy. But Sammy is so adamant on doing what he wants to do that he say, hey, listen, man, I'm about to go kick it with my cousins. They coming to pick me up. I want to play music, and I want to kick it with them. So the father's like, all right, man, I done warned you, son. I can't stop you. Go do your thing. Now here comes Smoke and Stack, my favorite. Yo, when I tell you Michael B. Jordan did a phenomenal job in this movie, from the first time I seen him, because when I had no idea what the movie was about. All right, I seen a couple trailers and I kind of figured out it was like something to do with vampires, because they were talking about the whole, invite me in trope or whatever, that vampires always seem to have to follow these rules. They're just so respectable, right? So that I kind of got that, but I had no idea that Michael B. Jordan played, two characters. He was twins, these twin brothers named Smoke and Stack. When I tell you, man, I 100% loved the difference in these two characters. And you can tell, like, when I first saw it, I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw it, I'm just like, oh man, I'll be able to tell. Like, no. As the movie went on, I forgot that it was him playing these two roles. It's so seamless. The most impressive part is when you first see both of them, they're standing outside about to do this deal to get this property from this white guy who turns out to be like this Ku Klux Klan member or whatever. And they're passing back and forth a cigarette. And it's so seamless. Their attitudes are so different. They're both two different styles, man. He did a phenomenal job. I love how they showed the black love in there with their love interest. I loved how they show how, Asian people and black people, how they did business and work together for certain things. I loved how they show how they built up the club and everything like that. Showed the two different love interests of both the brothers, their mannerisms. I mean, how gangster they were. I mean, Smoke was no joke. You know what I'm saying? Smoke was shoot first, ask questions later. It was really good. Then you got the vampires and stuff in there, man. And you find out about the vampires. They showed the Native Americans in there, trying to help out some people who didn't want to listen, getting tricked by the vampires and stuff. I mean, listen, man, this movie was in the music. Yo, the music is what really did it for me in this movie too. The music, the undertones, the messages, the meanings. My favorite scene in the entire movie is where Sammy finally gets in the club. He's playing music, and they all want to watch him do what he do. And not only does he kill the show, he's amazing at what he does. He's a phenomenal musician, but he like conjures up while he's singing on this banjo or whatnot, or this guitar. He conjures up all of the future and past ways of African Americans doing music. Whether it was the Asian people, the African Americans, so you got African dancers, you got the 70s with funk and psychedelics, you got hip hop, breakdance, and b-boy, and you got the girls twerking with the music of today, you got the trap dudes rapping. It was like all these people was mixed in this big old bonfire and stuff, and it was so amazing. But at the same time, it also showed how his music attracted the vampires, and how the undertone of this, what a lot of people may not realize, is that in hip hop music, which is one of the most influential forms of music on the planet, it really tells the story on how a lot of music that black people have created over the years have been stolen, has been monopolized, has been exploited, and it's only benefited certain communities in mass when it comes to ownership and when it comes to creating a narrative. You know, even with hip hop, when hip hop first came out, it was really about, you had a lot of educated rappers, fun, people in college, very, very black centric, telling the stories of the ghettos and stuff like that. But when you start having these companies come in and say, hey, listen, man, we want you to push a certain agenda and we'll put money behind you if you're talking about mass incarceration, if you're talking about murder, if you're talking about gangsterism, if you're talking about alcoholism, if you're talking about pimping, disrespecting women, these type of songs are things that got brought to the forefront. So in the movie, it was just showing how Sammy was such a good artist that the main vampire demon or whatever was like, look, I want, because every time, so with the vampire, every time he bit somebody, not only did he, you know, turn them into vampires, but he would obtain their knowledge. He would obtain their skills. He would obtain their memories. It was like he was absorbing them, kind of like Cell. If you ever watch Dragon Ball Z, kind of like Cell in a sense, where he gets all this knowledge and everything from you when he absorbs you, kind of like Majin Buu too. So the demon vampire was just like, look, man, I want Sammy and I'm going to do whatever I can do, because if I get his abilities with his music, I'll be able to pretty much like take over the world in a sense. Like I'll be able to influence people to do things and do my bidding. That's pretty much what it was. And if you think that's pretty farce, look at in today's, you know, music. Look at the messages that we get in hip hop. You know, I'm this, I'm that, very materialistic, very judgmental, non-family like. You have children out here who can barely read. They're, you know, above, let's say a teenager who can't, you know, read above the sixth grade level. A lot of failing schools. Parents are not being parents. Everybody is partying, getting high, fighting and cussing on social media, you know, and a lot of it is influenced with the music, the ops and the drill and, you know, all these different things, you know, F you, pay me, you know, like, money make me come. All these different things that you hear in the music, a lot of times is pushed from another agenda. There's a lot of different artists that don't talk about those things, but they don't get put on the airwaves because it's not pushing the agenda that these record labels and stuff want to push. And this is what is showing in this movie. It's showing if you have a gift and you have an ability and you're using it for the wrong purposes, not only is it a detriment to you, it's a detriment to everyone else. It also shows that if you succumb to the vampires, you can live on earth with the devil and the demons and have everlasting life on the planet. Just do what they say, do their bidding. I mean, it has a lot of different messages in this movie, and I love how they showed the black woman that had the voodoo, and she understood what the vampires were doing. She understood like the demonic forces and stuff that they were dealing with, and she was the only one that really knew how to combat them. You know, Smoke, he had the guns and everything. He was like, and this is the thing, they couldn't kill them. It was hard for them to kill them, but it comes a point in the movie where Smoke and Stack, they're twin brothers. They do everything together. I mean, they are brothers. Like, we're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Da-na-na-na. Give it a high five. Like, they are those type of brothers. Marlon Wayne type brothers. Sean and Marlon type brothers. These brothers are tight. You know what I'm saying? But it comes to the point where Stack gets turned into a vampire by by the girl that he, you know, his love interest in the movie or whatnot. And I thought they did a really good job with her. They did a really good job with their love affair. But everybody there was sinners. That's the thing. But when he gets turned into a vampire, it showed the difference between the brothers, right? Smoke had the color blue. Stack had the color red. Eventually, Stack gets turned into a vampire. The bloodlust. He wants to be of Earth. He doesn't mind. Now, and it wasn't his choice initially. He just got turned into a vampire, but you know, like everybody else, he just embraced it. He doesn't die in the end because his brother lets him live, as long as he leaves Sammy alone. But you know, Smoke on the other hand actually dies, and he gets to see what the afterlife is, and you know, see what it's like to see his unborn child or stillborn child that died and things like that, and meet with the woman of his life. at the end when she passed away too. But it was just really, really, really wholesome to just see how, you know, certain people make certain decisions and how hard it is to fight against evil once it infects you and obtains you. You know, the whole thing about the vampires having to get invited in and stuff like that, that was actually hilarious, but it's true. You know, when you bring a Ouija board or you listen to certain music or you watch certain things or you talk about certain things, you open up, they say open up Pandora's box. You're really opening up Pandora's box when it comes to some of these things. And a lot of people don't realize it. You know, how can you fight an enemy that you don't even know what it looks like? You're not trained in it. You don't think about it. You just live day by day, la 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 la, with your head in the clouds, because you have no idea about what you're facing. You have no idea. Just because you don't believe in something doesn't mean that thing doesn't believe in you 100%. You know what I'm saying? So it was a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale. And I think everybody should go watch this movie, especially black people. Man, listen, this is like our horror Black Panther, in my opinion, because it's not telling you, oh, I'm black, y'all, because I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, and I'm black, and I'm black. No, it's not that type of movie. It's just telling you, hey, listen, you have a history. Your family members and your ancestors did some things before you, and the things that they did was so powerful. And there's some things that you might be able to learn about yourself by watching this movie. There's some things you might want to look out for by watching this movie, and there's some things that you can learn by watching this movie. And I 100%, like, I want to go watch it again. It is that good to me. I really enjoyed it. I love the storytelling. I think it's a really, really good movie. It's breaking records. I didn't even realize how well it was doing. Like, everybody was like, man, it's breaking all these records and stuff like that. And you had some people down and talking bad about the movie and stuff like that. I say just go and see for yourself. Go see for yourself, and then you be the judge of it. But it is called Sinners. Hey, oh yeah, one thing, everybody in the movie is some type of sinner. So Sammy, he's not doing what he's supposed to with his talents. Smoke and Stack are just, you know, they work for Al Capone, so they're definitely gangsters, criminals, killers, thieves. I mean, anything under the sun you could think of. You got an alcoholic who's in the movie. You got a woman who, you know, most of the women that were messing with the guys, I think it was Stack's girl. She was a married woman trying to keep on messing with Stack. Sammy, the girl that liked him, she was a married woman. So you had a lot of different people, you know, getting into fights, stealing, gambling, all the different center things you could think of, and it attracted, you know, the biggest center of them all, which is the main vampire guy. And he did a phenomenal job as well. I love the musical notes and stuff that he did when his song came up or whatnot. And it just lets you know in that movie as well that um the demons and the vampires, they know the Bible as well. So there was one point where Sammy was crying out to God and he was praying and asking to be saved, and the demon or the vampire, he just starts saying the prayer with him, like, yo, man, that's funny, that's hilarious, but there's no God here, basically. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people forget that the demons and, you know, the vampires and all that, they know the Bible just as well as you do. That's how they use it, to either convolute your understanding or trick you into doing something that you more so normally wouldn't do. That's why when you're under the influence, you open yourselves up to, you know, just different things, under the influence of alcohol, under the influence of weed and drugs, under the influence of things that will have you not thinking in your right mind, man. So it has a lot of different meanings and different symbolism, and I really, really like it, man. So for anybody who hasn't seen this movie, definitely go check it out. I thought it was absolutely amazing. I definitely want to go see it again. Michael B. Jordan did a phenomenal job, man. He did a really good job. I was like, man, like, you got some movies that are so good. When I'm done watching it, I want to be that main character. Smoke and Stack, they made this movie. Sammy was cool. He was all right. I heard that he did a phenomenal job of learning how to play the guitar and everything. He had a short amount of time to learn how to actually play the instrument. So kudos to him. But man, I'm telling you, Michael B. Jordan did his thing in his movie, man. I wanted to be like Smoke and Stack so bad at the while. I wanted to get the suits and the hats and get the golds on the TV. It was like, yo, man, it was just, you could tell it's us. And when you see a movie that's you, no matter what race you are, when you see something that's you and it's cool and it's amazing, you just get hype. You get happy, man. That's what anybody. And for so long, we haven't had that, man, in a positive light. Not just looking like a gang member or looking like the regular drug dealer, but a horror movie with vampires. And like, that's cool, man. We want that and we need that. And I'm happy for it, man. So go see the movie Sinners. It was absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see what else that they come out with. I want to see that movie called Him. That's going to be amazing. I might be going to see that one with my mom. So, yeah, man, shout out to everybody doing their thing in the movie industry, man. I would love to be in a movie one day. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all already know what it is. We make art. We sell art. You see I'm drawing this picture of Goku or whatnot. If you would like to support my artwork or anything like that, man, please hit me in the comments below, man. Hit that link. You can get some posters, you can get canvases. I got t-shirts, I got hoodies, I got all kind of stuff, man. Blankets, you name it, man. Hit me up. I got something for almost everybody. So hit me in the comments below or in the description below, and I got you, man. You already know what it is. We make art, we sell art. In your face. Peace.